what does a Jewish wedding in Brooklyn in the 1930s have to do with settling the Jezreel Valley? What's the connection between new immigrants from Kurdistan and a flourishing green forest planted in memory of Holocaust martyrs? The answer is a book. That is several books, or actually several hundred books. With no plot, without grand ideas, just a long list of names, places, numbers. Yet despite that, these books have changed my life, and yours. But let's forget about the big words for a moment. We're people of action, not words. So let's talk about actions. Those actions begin in the year 1901, as the Fifth Zionist Congress convenes in Basel. There's no state of Israel yet, no ownership over most of the lands, no resources, and pioneering settlement is just taking its first steps. Then what is there? There's vision, and plenty of it. Herzl manages to bring Jewish delegates from around the world to the Zionist congresses, where they hold stormy debates about the future state, its economy, foreign policy, and education. But in 1901, all these are just words, without any practical means of realizing them. Everyone understands what's required. Herzl himself says it. The Zionist idea needs a fund to raise the money to finance all the great dreams of a state for the Jews. A national fund to redeem the land of Israel. But this is already the fifth Congress, and the fund still doesn't exist. Why not? Because a fund is serious business. It needs clear definitions and regulations. And until all the legal work is complete, the decision to establish the fund is postponed. Talk? Yes. Action? No. And then, at the Fifth Congress, a Jew from Vienna is fed up with waiting. Yonah Kremenetsky was an industrialist and electrical engineer, what we'd call a techie nowadays. He's a man of action. Even if the details still aren't final, the Zionist movement simply must begin operating. Yonah decides to finally bring the fund's establishment before the Congress for a vote. And he loses the vote. Herzl, who wasn't in the hall at the time, hears about the vote and rushes in. He suggests a revote, split into two parts. First, we agree to establish the fund. Afterwards, we'll see to all the details. Do you want to postpone the fund's establishment until the Messiah arrives? He asks the crowd, and the crowd roars its answer, no. In the second vote, the results are completely different. And so, on the 19th of Tevet, in the year 5662, December 29th, 1901, JNF, the Jewish National Fund, was established, and its first donor, in the amount of 10 British pounds sterling, was Yonah Kremenetsky, the techie from Vienna, who became its first chairman. Exciting, isn't it? But the year is 1901. World Jewry is scattered, remote, and persecuted. Where will the money for the new fund come from? They could have done what they'd done up till then, turn to wealthy Jews like Rothschild, Montefiore, or Hirsch. But Yonah Kremenetsky had a different idea, an innovative one. No one called it that back then, but he was dreaming of crowdfunding. And for that to happen, he created this book, the Golden Book of the Jewish National Fund, the highest honor that the young Zionist movement could bestow. The honor of being inscribed in the Golden Book isn't simply received. This honor is given, as in people giving in honor of others. The Friends of Louis Delot from Casablanca donate 2,000 francs in appreciation of his work on behalf of Moroccan Jewry, and the JNF erects tower and stockade settlements. Jewish soldiers in the U.S. Armed Forces give in honor of Rabbi Stephen Wise, and the JNF paints the Jerusalem hills green. Pupils from the Aleph School in Jaffa give in honor of the first million Jews in the land of Israel, and the JNF begins draining the Hula Valley swamps. Between the lines hide more and more thrilling tales. Despite the distances and the difficulty of communication, the books fill rapidly, and the JNF creates more and more golden books, each with its own unique design reflecting the spirit of the times. A farmer plowing his land in the years of settlement, an open gate in the days of illegal immigration, a map of the new nation after the establishment of the state, And inside are lists of names, thousands of names, honoring Zionist and world leaders, beloved community and family members, commemorating marriages and births, adding names to the great national story. The life story of an entire people is inscribed in orderly lines, every one of which marks a donation to the Zionist enterprise. And all that money, all the dollars and pounds, bishliks and francs, flows from the four corners of the earth to a single destination, the land of Israel. All the thousands of donors commemorating their names in the books become the JNF's partners. Partners in buying the lands for Degania, the first kibbutz. Partners in loaning money to establish the first neighborhood of Tel Aviv. And in purchasing the lands of the Jezreel Valley. Partners in establishing the Gymnasium High School in Jerusalem and the Reali School in Haifa. The lands we live on, our farm fields, schools and cultural institutions, the forests we hike in, even the water we drink and the air we breathe, they're all from here because of this book and others like it. The book is still open. The hand is still writing. What part will you play in building our people and our land?